Okay, we should be good to go here.
Morning, Eva. Your wake-up has been sanctioned by the ISA. We lost contact with the ground crew 450 hours ago. We have tried to establish further communications, but we are not getting any responses. We need you to investigate.
Okay, doesn't it make sense to do visual checks first?
We have already looked at the data. The ISA has made the executive decision that you report to the surface post-haste. You are our emergency response.
What exactly is the emergency?
The ground crew found an organism the ISA believed to be dangerous. We need to re-establish communication.
Why can't I turn the camera? Okay, need to click into it. Oh nice, this is actually a first person view where you can see your hands. I already like that. So we're around Jupiter, and the place where this organism was found is actually Europa, the icy moon of Jupiter. ISA, I'm guessing, would be an international space agency. That's us, right? Yep. BRXW, hello. Are you new to the stream? He gave me a host. It will go away once 4 new things happen. Oh, I can only look at this? Not open? Alright.
Pick up your EMT. It's on the side. Okay. We are going to take a lander to Europa. Make your way to the docking station.
Energy manipulation. Cool. Could mean literally anything. Very vague name. Anything else open? Probably not. Oh, I can look at the mug. Excellent. And the notes? Can I look at the notes? Oh, it's brew. Okay. Thank you very much. What's up with the X? I never liked in games where they let you pick up stuff, only to uselessly rotate them and not do anything. Emails! Yay. Hey Dan, I'm about to initiate my cryostasis. Just let Tom know if you guys need me. Hopefully there will be no need to wake me. I guess I'll hear from you as soon as I wake up, which may be a long time for you guys. Best of luck down there, Ava. Ava, hopefully we won't need you, but we will miss you in the land of the living. I'll make sure Tom checks on you regularly. I know he does anyway, but I like to think I'm helping. Good night, Dan. Um, Tom must be an acronym, and he must be the robot who woke us up. Uh, to Ava, Captain McLean has sent several emails insisting I check the cryo chambers are functioning correctly. They are functioning as expected. Please do not feel any apprehension. Captain McLean has been informed. Thank you, Tom. I'm not worried. There it is. Technical Operations Machine. Wow. That's the lamest name anyone's ever had. Poor robot. Thank you, Tom. I'm not worried, Ava. I am initiating my cryostasis in a short while. I imagine a lot will change while I'm asleep. If everything goes well, I should be woken up in the next 10 years. So to you all, I'd like to wish a good life, Ava. Wow, 10 years. That's a long-ass time. Wonder if any aging was involved there.
What's the ship's status?
I have performed the necessary checks. The Europa lander is ready to launch.
Dialogues, nice.
I think that's everything wound up, Tom.
Yes.
Well, I guess I'm ready to go down for the long sleep then.
Good night, Ava. I will miss your assistance. The ship will be very quiet without you here.
Night. See you when I wake up, Tom.
Residuals before nulling, -02, -04, -01. X and Z null to 0. Looking good.
Okay, good. Horizon check right on time. How's things, Christopher?
Good. I am go for power descent.
I can confirm. You are go for power descent.
Roger that. I am running the PDI program. 80-degree delta pitch to 88 degrees absolute. Braking procedure. Engine 1 ignition. Engine burn.
Suppressing 400 alarm.
Balance.
The landers are ready.
Good. Thanks, Tom. You okay now, Sarah?
Yeah, I think so. Thank you, Daniel. I've done this before.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
It's just another 10 years of my life.
Still don't know what happened at all. As Cortana would say, I usually like a little bit more intel with my intel.
Bay
Wait.
3.
Oh, there's nothing there, okay. Wait, what? Oh, no, nothing. What's this? Seemingly nothing. Not missing anything? Okay. Oh, he's telling me to go to Bay 3, I see. And I'm supposing everything around will be empty? Because this is like just a tutorial. Yep. Check. Bay 2. Okay. Yep, nothing to do but go.
Retro?
Go.
Fido?
Go.
Guidance?
Go.
Control?
Go.
Telcom?
Go.
Then we are go for launch initiating.
Separate.
Ah, beautiful.
Engaging retrofire. I'm running the program 80-degree delta pitch to 88 degrees absolute. Braking procedure. Trajectory looks good. 502 alarm. It looks like we're coming in too fast.
We are slightly short of the landing site. We are going to have to burn late. Go.
Full retrograde.
I'm confused, since when does Europa have an atmosphere? Did they just get that wrong? Or did it get somehow artificially introduced? I don't think the level of tech
Open the door.
in this universe is there yet.
Welcome to Europa.
I mean, this is like an initial expedition. Surely that's not the case. Tell you what, fact check. I'm gonna super quickly Google this on my phone. I hope I'm very wrong and that they got it right. But as far as I recall, Europa does not have an atmosphere. There's a tiny one with the pressure being 10 to the power of minus 12 bar. You would literally explode without your suit in
How long will my
practical
suit
terms.
survive these conditions?
At 100 degrees Kelvin, a couple of hours. We should get inside.
Lock. Are you not gonna close the doors?
The base has changed.
What do you mean?
The base was originally constructed as modules to withstand the seismic activity in and around Thera Macula. It appears the ground team have manipulated these modules. The base was built initially by machines. I served as the mind of these operations. I arrived first on Europa in 2240. It costs a lot to send humans into space with the necessary life support, especially such a vast distance from Earth. So, robotics built this place.
I wonder why the ground team has changed these rooms.
I have a hypothesis. These rooms are Turing tests.
Turing tests?
Turing tests are tests designed to tell humans and machines apart. typically problems only solvable by a human. A combination of logical and lateral thinking.
So, you can't complete these tests, Tom?
No. That is why I am glad you are here to help. We need to work together.
How am I supposed to carry that up if I can't both climb and okay. I don't like that. The one reason I could imagine for the people they're making a Turing test is to keep AIs out. Oh, of course. That's easy.
They really have completely repurposed these rooms. I am quite impressed.
So, what were they used for before?
Most of them were used for storage, but they have converted them beyond recognition. Perhaps they ran out of things to do out here. The devil makes work for idle hands.
Hold on a sec. That isn't right. Ah, okay. It's very Portal-esque.
Do you know the ground team's location?
The crew are deeper inside the base, it seems.
They must be trying to survive. Can you find their precise location?
I'm afraid not. I am working to regain control. Though I once had complete control of this base, a lot has changed in the past 500 hours.
Oh, I see we've created redundancy here. Or have we? No, if I take this, I can find a way up there maybe somehow. So, I need to create redundancy like this, and then I can move that out. Yeah, that's easy enough. Very simple sequential puzzles so far. Well, yeah, it's basically just tutorializing all of this.
So if this base is managed by you, why can't you find the crew?
The base's communication array is malfunctioning.
Hey, Icon, what up? Turing indeed.
Perhaps we can't solve this yet.
Huh. We need to fill that up, I'm guessing. Alright, bring it on. Force field? Interesting. Okay. That's not a force field, that's... I don't know what that is. Okay, it's like a magnet thing. Interesting. This will require 2 of those. So I just need to go back and get one of the things already in this field. However, this door might actually cancel that. It's not letting me out. So, what else could I possibly do here? Ah, okay.
This doesn't add up.
What does not add up?
If there was an accident, surely they'd come to find me, not try to lock me out.
My instance is still resolving conflicts. I expect they have their reasons.
If we got locked out. Ah, like a switch. This game is pretty cool. Very simple puzzles.
My
but
instance has just
cool.
been updated.
Sorry?
I have two instances of my mind, two separate versions. A slave mind running on the satellite, and a master running here on the surface. When the communication was cut between the surface base and the satellite, the two instances of my mind were separated. So, during all this time, all of my knowledge divided into two separate branches. I continue to learn on the satellite, and I continue to learn on the surface. I am trying to merge the knowledge to create a timeline of what's happened here. But there are incongruities between these memories, conflicts.
I follow this one. But that's no help at all. Because if I was to... I don't know. Where's that leading? Ah, I see now. That room is completely unnecessary for us, so we can just do this. Boom, redundancy created. Puzzle solved. Awesome. I like this. I'm really a fan of how they're designing their puzzles. What I'm a little bit afraid of is that there might be a limit to how complex this mechanic can get. So I think they'll have to introduce more mechanics, just as the Talos Principle or
This is the
Portal
command
would.
center. You can check on the crew status from here.
Touch. Why you no touch? So everything pretty much was in order until February 10th, 2248, and for 10 years everything was cancelled. I'm sorry, for 20. What? And what is this exactly? That's the shipping manifest. So has this entire base been on ice for all this time?
Tom, start recording.
I am always recording, Daniel.
The day is January the 6th. My watch says it's 2:30 on Earth. Here we are, members of the human race, standing on Jupiter's moon Europa. I am Captain Daniel McLean. I'm joined here by the rest of my team. It is our intention to make this moon our home and investigate life on this planet. Man's curiosity and appetite for discovery will continue to change our world for the better.
Inspiring. And might I add my congratulations to you all.
Here it is. Beautiful, isn't it? What makes this one more remarkable than the others?
The way it attaches itself to other organisms. Its behavior is very abnormal. It seems to form a symbiotic relationship with most life forms.
How do you mean?
Do you want me to dumb it down?
I know what it means. What does it do?
It attaches itself to almost anything living, but it's not parasitic. It's quite alien. We're trying to figure out what effects it has on life forms.
Mikhail, you seem distant.
Do I?
Yes. What's wrong? What's wrong, Mikhail? Mikhail, what's wrong? Are you listening, Mikhail? Are you able to hear?
Did they do human testing?
I was talking to the ISA. They don't know what to do with this. The magnitude of the discovery.
We should send samples back to Earth. I think we need to get this to a better lab. Me and Sochi are having trouble making enough clones. I'm going to run out of the necessary resources to continue studying Organism 119.
They're calling for a grounding of all Europa transport until they get your report.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's rather drastic.
No Halo Wars 2 tonight. But like playing something new. Video feeds. Microscope that I can't look into. Nice. Can't touch nothing, yo. I don't see why I can't touch anything. At least the atmosphere is in order within. Just inventory of all the medicine we've got. Eva Turing. Losing her parents at a young age, Eva Turing was sent to military engineering school. Shortly after graduating, she enlisted in the US Navy and trained as a pilot. Due to her exemplary service record and willingness to leave Earth for extended periods of time, Turing was recruited by the ISA. The exploratory mission to Jupiter's Europa, turning Turing's role aboard the Fortuna was his engineer and vehicle officer. That's us. I'm gonna turn on the light real quickly because it's getting a bit dark for me. Dr. Soichi Yui, I guess, from Tokyo. Exobiologist. She's the one who's... Let's see. Soichi Yui had no childhood interest in space travel. Instead, he. I thought it's a she. I'm so sorry. Oh. Instead, he spent his youth studying the life in Lake Biwa near his hometown. Yuri went on to study marine biology and chemistry at Kyoto University. After the tragic death of his wife, Rin, he disappeared into his work, re-emerging 11 years later as a preeminent exobiologist. Great! Let's monitor their unknown data. Mikhail Tokarev is a doctor. Outstanding tasks. Keep on? What? Mikhail Tokarev's father died of cancer at young age. This motivated him to become a doctor in hopes of helping others. Tokarev worked as a medical doctor in Russia for 3 years before working for the UN as a doctor in crisis. His role in the Europa mission as chief medical officer. Crew quarters as their last known locations. Alright, Chris McLean from Canada is an engineer. Objectives terminated. Chris McLean is an identical triplet. His father is an electrician and his mother is a mechanical engineer. Following in his mother's footsteps, Chris trained as an engineer. The McLean triplets became famous as Chris and Dan took to space, leaving their brother Peter behind. Although an accomplished engineer, his place on this mission was also partly due to the ISA being interested in the long-term effects of space travel. Test results will be compared to those of Peter. What? Of Peter? It's Daniel. What? Ah! I think it's wrong. Anyway, they're bros. He's captain and great objectives classified. So is terminated. Noise. There, Brooke. From Syria. Joint British and Syrian. Exobiologist. Classify organism and classify all life recovered. Sarah Brooks' parents are both scientists. In her teenage years, she was sent to an English public boarding school. Brooke is one of the most eminent exobiologists of the 21st century for her formative work on the Mars Discovery Project. She was specifically requested to be part of the Europa grant team. Though only 28 years old, Sarah has touched the surface of 2 planetoids and spent more time on alien soil than any other member of mankind, except for the Mars team. And also crew quarters for her location, for basically everybody's. And I'm confident I still cannot touch those. Oh, Aiken actually corrected my spelling. He wasn't trying to shout at me. I'm an idiot. I'm so sorry. No wonder it wasn't showing up on Twitch. Right, I have corrected. Feel free to reload if it bothers you. Me is sorry.
What conditions should I expect to find the ground crew in?
Daniel went missing days ago. Chris is presumed dead. We are expecting to find Sarah, Mikhail, and Sochi in a stable condition.
Chris is dead?
He was involved in an accident.
Oh.
Could we take a more direct way to the ground team?
Unfortunately, there is not a direct route. The base is buried under ice to protect it from the radiation of space.
Similar to the Mars base.
Similar. Europa's base is slightly deeper into the surface. There is more radiation present from solar events on Mars. But Mars's surface is denser than that of Europa.
I think what we gotta do here is just, yeah, this.
What are their chances of survival here? Oxygen, the food stores, waste management.
Everything seems to be in order. There was a small problem with the food stores, but the crew fixed that up. We successfully transitioned over to a sustainable, small, artificial ecosystem a year ago, growing fruit and vegetables. It helps boost morale, amongst other things. The crew members could hypothetically survive here for their whole lifetimes.
Oh, that's not what I expected. Why is this not powered up? Most important device, this not working. That magnet up and running. Can I create redundancy for this door? Does this power that? Oh. I don't get it. What? Nothing to do down here. How do I activate that? Is it that thing that activates it? I don't really see a difference if I put it there or not. What am I missing here? Not like I forgot something. Ah. This makes little sense. Is there somewhere a switch that might keep this door open so I can juggle that through? The only thing I can really imagine. Is there a switch here? No. Ah, God's sake. I just forgot that this thing needs to be powered from up there. That's all that happened here. That was a waste of my time. I need to position that guy so that we can actually pick it up. Boys. I need to drop it on the bridge. Oh, right. Now I need to power it off.
My purpose as the overseer of this mission is to work for the ISA. I am the ISA's feet and hands. The distance between Jupiter and Earth make it inappropriate for the ISA to directly interface with the mission directives. As my AI core is stationed on Europa, I can make decisions instantaneously about the running of the base.
Probably gonna be a box. Or one of these. That is also fine. Spooky. Can I power this for the other side now? Not like this. That's where I got the heavier power device from. And then I need to juggle them in a way that I can get both of the variables over here. That doesn't sound too easy, actually. What the heck? How am I ever gonna do that? Can I pick up anything else? I doubt I can. Being tricked. Noise.
How does the ISA know you're gonna make the right decisions here when they can't communicate with us?
Interestingly, I have a twin on Earth. His name is Michael. The ISA uses my twin to check firmware updates before they upload them to myself. There is a simulation of this mission on Earth running at all times to check my expert systems. Naturally, as any modern artificial intelligence running on a quantum computer, I do also have a large amount of evolutionary algorithms at my disposal. However, they were deemed as too unreliable for general use in the mission.
Why is that?
Biological systems produce biological results. Messy, unpredictable solutions. Not suitable for such a mission.
That's not right. I need this door to be open. I need also this to be open. I need the physical one to be out here. But then the window is closed. This only changes which slot opens that door. Then no more for me. I think I need the third one first. Go. Could help tons. those only take the other ones. Oh, this isn't right. I need the other one here. Or I can take from anywhere. Awesome. I can't carry those across apparently. Hello. Doesn't look like something I can solve right now. Looks like the power
Did
is
the
unstable.
ISA build you, Tom?
As the child of the ISA, I have been given authority aboard this station. I was designed by the ISA and the Ashiyama Corporation, designed in California, assembled in China. But here on Europa, I constructed myself. Have you heard of the Turing Test, Ava? It's a test to see if a computer can successfully impersonate a human. In the original Turing Test, a human judge has two conversations, one with a machine and one with another human. They then judge which of these polite conversations is with a machine and which is with a human. The machine being tested is said to have passed the Turing Test if the judge cannot reliably tell which conversation is with a machine and which is with a human.
Do you think you'd pass the Turing test?
I am quite capable of polite conversation, wouldn't you say? The Turing test has been criticized. Researchers claim it does not correctly test a machine's ability to think, but rather its ability to deceive.
What do you mean?
Well, have you heard of the Chinese room thought experiment?
No.
Imagine you are in a room. In this room, you are passed Chinese sentences through a slot in the wall. Inside the room is an instruction book written in English. This instruction book tells you which Chinese words to pass back through the slot in the wall as a response. By doing so, you have a conversation in Chinese. In the Chinese room, because the responses you pass back through the door are the correct responses, the person on the other side of the door is convinced You are a native Chinese speaker.
Well, they're wrong.
Perhaps they are not wrong. Because with the instruction book, you are having a conversation.
But the person stuck in the Chinese room is not aware of the conversation's content.
This is the problem with the Turing Test. A computer can pass the Turing Test, having convinced a human they are having a polite conversation, while the computer has no idea that a conversation has taken place.
What if both of the people passing Chinese words are reading from instruction books?
I may be a machine, but I personally do not believe I am stuck inside the Chinese room.
Right, you would say that. I could peer inside your databases at any time, Tom. Or pause your operation.
Do not assume I could not do the same to you.
You'll need way more context than these conversations. Okay, I need one more box. And some air. Oh, right.
This is the crew's quarters. It looks abandoned.
We would have fought. Do not see the need for so many cameras. Tom's presence everywhere is slightly oppressive. I understand the need for transparency. But why is he in the toilets? Not sure what that does actually. Strange turn was on the west side of the crater. Wow. No one here. Operation paused at the end there. What is that? Is that just a stone, or is there something in the middle? This. Yeah. Hey Tammy, how's it going, man? Same capsules. Everyone seems to be having those. Could it be antibiotics? Finally, something worth reading. Alright, the whole team experienced nausea during a large electrical surge in Europa's atmosphere. I am concerned. This was not an instance of mass hysteria. Vital signs were affected. It caused a uniform surge in heart rate that was detected in all members of the crew. I'm reporting to ISA. I reported the nauseous incident to the ISA. They offered an explanation of electrical disturbance to our central nervous system. That is ludicrous. An electrical surge large enough to affect our nervous system would have done more than make them feel ill. I'm going to experiment with some shock therapy. I have discovered that electronic fields disturb our telemetry implants in a way I didn't expect. I have contacted the ISA. Strangely, Tom was not comfortable with my attempts to disturb the implant. The ISA reported back informing me that I am not to disturb the implants. They have also encouraged me not to discuss this further with the team. I'm continuing to investigate. Oh, thank you very much for the cheer, Tammy. The sound didn't play. That was yeah, let's try that again real quick while we read this. It doesn't look like it's being read out. I'm gonna fix that real quick. And then we'll re-trigger it. Make sure it's working in the future. Oh, apparently there is no function to have it read out. Hmm. Yeah, it seems like there isn't one. Also, it wasn't exactly displaying my intended notification. Let's see. I just resaved it to be sure. It looks like I can't have anything custom there. Yep, anyway, thank you very much. I'm doing great. I have been meaning to play this game called the Turing Test, which is really fascinating so far. It's a really good puzzle game, sort of like Portal, not quite. A lot of sequential puzzles. Alright, so the ISA have reported back informing me that I am not to disturb the implants. They have also encouraged me not to discuss this further with the team. I'm continuing to investigate. I'm assuming he's cursing there in Russian. I have been running some experiment outside of Tom's view. I can tell he knows this. He has been acting differently around me. Like an offended child, I feel increasingly nauseous. These implants seem to have neuroconnectivity. Out of body experiences are more frequent now. Holy shit, son. I have established a definite correlation. Against my knowledge, I have been implanted with a device that affects my mind. I used my opportunities in regular health checkups to investigate the crew. We all have them. Every single one of us is implanted with some mind-altering contraption. Tom has been encouraging the team to worry about my mental health. He requested that I retire away from the crew. Misinformation, more Russian cursing. I cannot will myself to investigate this further. I got tired quickly. I cannot think straight. I am not sure if the implant is affecting my thoughts anymore. I believe it is trying to subdue my mind. I think I am going to attempt an excision. I'm going to remove this implant. I'm typing with my left hand now. The excision went wrong. I have successfully removed the implant. Unfortunately, I lost my hand in the operation. Tom is very angry. The crew refused to talk to me. Apparently, I am a bad influence. Sarah patched me up. I wonder if the nature of the organism and its disturbance of my DNA caused my awakening from Tom's influence. If so, that would make for very some revelation. Perhaps this organism is not so friendly. Dan informed me ISA have called for my termination. My masochistic experiment proves I am a danger to the mission. Fortunately, he chose not to lock me in the brig. I'm going to investigate this implant further. I have to hide my work. The team are becoming increasingly aggressive. They seem to oppose my work to understand the implant. It does not help that Tom's encouraging them to distrust me. I have discovered the nature of the implant. It is a complex computer. It interfaces with the human mind directly. It seems to condition the mind through Pavlovian and instrumental conditioning, eliciting feelings of euphoria when the wearer is obedient and dysphoria when they are disobedient. It also has the effect of suppressing impulses in the frontal lobe, presumably to lower free will. It seems to interface crudely with motor neuron cells through the cerebellum. It is my hypothesis that the crew is controlled by this implant. That is a strong aversion to helping me. I need a method of suppressing its impact, perhaps a drug. Riluzole. Riluzole. Oh, that's difficult. Maybe an antidepressant to minimize the conditioning effects. Combined with a strong electromagnetic field, I could use one of the industrial electromagnets from the construction robots. I've managed to get Chris on my side. He has agreed to test some medical procedures with me in private. It will be more difficult one-handed, but I must persevere. I'm hoping to keep this out of the eyes of Tom, though I have a feeling he will still be listening. Holy shit, son. That does explain why we were also being convinced that something is wrong here. Nice painting. Alright, I need 1 minute to clean myself up. Be right back. Right, still got this cold of mine. Very nice. So Tammy, since you just joined, the rough backstory is that we were Vulcan, who were part of a Europa expedition, basically, and we were the only ones in cryosleep, and we were sent to investigate the rest of the crew, but apparently it's been a lot of years. And basically, some kind of new life was discovered. Something potentially hostile. So yeah, we're here now. Which one do we read first? Hi Matthew, we've been studying organism 119. Please find the attached scanning electron microscope image which appears to show pilus formation. We hypothesize that this is a stress response due to high levels of radiation. We plan to infect a human cell line with organism 119 and perform irradiation experiments with flow cytometry. Would this be appropriate? It would be great if you could get the department to look at the SEM image. Kind regards, Soichi. Also for other references, the crew, actually, when we have arrived, they have converted all the modules to become puzzles in order to keep whatever artificial intelligence that was out. So I'm guessing that Mikhail has actually succeeded in convincing the rest of the crew that they are in fact being controlled. So our main character is actually looking to find the others. And the tests on the way, the puzzles, they're there so that only we can get through and no one else. And technically on the station they should be able to survive a very long time. Hey, so sure, it was great to see this image. Wow, yet more complex life on Europa. Dinococcus radiodurans might be worth looking at, as it survives very high levels of radiation here on Earth. Similarly, you should consider looking at alright, names. Which produces Pili in response to Pili in response to radiation, and uses them to transfer DNA. Perhaps your organism uses a similar mechanism? Have you considered that organism 119 is transferring or scavenging DNA as a method of surviving radiation? As you well know, in terms of radiation, Europa receives 5.4 SV per day, over 300,000 times the level on Earth. The organism must have evolved such a high resistance to radiation as a necessity of survival. That said, the radiation beneath Terra Macular is much lower due to the thick ice crust. Radiation experiments with flow cytometry sound like an appropriate course of action. Hi Matthew, we have attached an image confirming that organism 119 attaches to human cells. We will proceed with irradiation experiments on these cell lines. We propose naming organism 119 Europa radiophilus. What do you think? How much we have now run the There's no response. Yeah. We have now begun to run the irradiation experiments and can confirm that E. radiophilus does indeed seem to confer resistance to radiation. C attached, we assume survival is due to DNA damage repair. We tagged various DNA repair enzymes with the GFP and have found that DNA double-strand break repair is occurring. That would technically solve aging. Alright, Tommy, good luck. I will be having this, of course, saved, so if you're very interested, you can look it up later. Alright, so just something's amiss. We don't know what is performing the repair. The lab doesn't know how E. radiophilus, good name, could repair DNA. Have you considered that another organism may be in symbiotic relationship with A. radiophilus, perhaps a virus? We ran a PCR on the human cells exposed to the E. radiophilus to see if there was a virus present. We have discovered an unknown virus, which we have named Unknown Europa virus, UEV. Gel electrophoresis image attached. Shit. This is phenomenal. You need to sequence this. We finished sequencing it. Data attached. It is a virus unlike any we've ever seen. Maybe we have found a cure for senescence, a form of biological immortality. We are running some long-term tests on plants and mice to see the effects. The plants are clearly exhibiting longer lifespans when exposed to the organism. We don't have the facilities here to continue testing. We are going on to human testing. What? We are going to use ourselves as subjects? It's the only way to accelerate progress. Surely that is the effect of the implants. What insane person would do that? That is way too crazy. So what is it you found then, Sushi? Oh, this was actually the first email chain. I am so sorry, guys. We found an extremophile, i.e. an organism that can live in extreme conditions that survives massive doses of radiation. Radiation damages DNA. The extremophile has a virus living inside it. Oh no, it is the second one actually, the second correspondence, with a completely different recipient. The extremophile scavenges DNA from other organisms, which the virus uses to repair the extremophile's damaged DNA. Essentially, they work together to survive in what's called a symbiotic relationship. So, what's the implication? What does it do? In some ways, it is an immortal relationship. It doesn't seem to age biologically. Aging and death are ultimately caused by DNA damage. We have the ability to fix our DNA, but that ability is limited. This organism can repair damage caused by massive doses of radiation. If we could harness this power, we could potentially eliminate biological aging, what is known as senescence. So you found something that could make humans immortal? Not exactly. There are many causes of death other than DNA damage. It would not save you from trauma, from brain damage, from cardiac arrest, etc. But it could potentially cure cancers and many genetic diseases and massively increase life expectancy. Sounds a bit cray-cray. Am I going the wrong way? I am. I already went there. Hmm.
These people should not have been sent here. It's not safe.
Manned space travel is not safe. Since mankind first entered space, the debate has raged over the value of manned space travel. There is a large contingent of the ISA that believes all tasks that need to be performed on Europa could be performed by machines. It is obviously less risky to send machines rather than humans into space.
What? Oh, I get it. I just turn off the energy bridge and then get here. Nice.
We sent drones to Earth's moon. Scientists can remotely operate drones. If we did it there, why not here too?
Teleoperation became possible on the moon when the communication latency was reduced to 1.4 seconds. The distance between the Earth and Earth's moon is approximately 1.3 light seconds. This enables near real-time control of drones by scientists. The story is different with Europa, as the distance between Earth and Jupiter oscillates between approximately 32 and 53 light minutes. It takes a very long time for Earth to communicate with Europa. Due to that distance, teleoperation will never be possible on Europa.
Okay, but why not control drones from the satellite?
Why not indeed? My systems can be teleoperated from Europa's satellite. That is when the communication lines are open. However, the advantages of human field workers apparently outweigh the risks.
course you are. But I can just move it, right? Okay. That wasn't difficult at all.
So, why can't you solve these tests, Tom?
I am not permitted to think laterally. Parts of my systems are permitted to use evolutionary algorithms. This simulates what is called creativity. However, evolutionary algorithms can converge on inefficient and ethically suboptimal solutions. Since this is the case, I am only permitted to take actions in response to a set of constraints.
What do you mean by morally suboptimal?
Solutions to problems that transgress ethical boundaries.
Did I? No. I'll just have to move on. Oh. Like that. Not like this. Actually, this is fine. Right? I just need to bring the other one down. I can take both.
Why does a lack of creativity stop you solving these tests?
Well, I contend that problem solving is creativity. These human interaction tests are exercising your creative mind.
I don't see how problem solving is creative.
Think back to the beginning of these tests, to the first puzzle you solved. It required you to throw a box through a window. Do you remember?
Yeah, I think so.
I simply had never thought to throw a box through a window. That is creativity, thinking outside of the box.
How does this help me? Oh. Of course it is.
Can a computer ever be creative?
They can. But a computer's method of creativity is to try everything until something works. Think of nature. People consider nature created. The process of evolution by natural selection. It perhaps started with one organism. From there, it essentially tried to create every organism it could. Those organisms that did not survive perished. So, nature's creative force is to try every conceivable idea. Those ideas that work survive.
Okay, so why aren't you permitted to emulate that process?
Because the solutions that a biological process creates are not always good solutions. As we see, nature is morally ambivalent. It will happily create morally suboptimal ideas to fulfill its creative mandate. We see this in parasitic worms, viruses, and pathogens.
Hold on, what did this just do? Okay. So what does that change for me? I can move it past and then switch it back. Nice.
If you weren't restricted, do you think you could be creative?
As creative as a human? Certainly. You believe yourself to be a creative. But in mathematical terms, creativity is merely constrained chaos.
What do you mean?
I have discerned that creativity is divergent thinking, creating an organic solution to a problem. In the human mind, divergent thoughts are created and then curated by the frontal lobe. I can create divergent thoughts and moderate them. So, I am creative.
Organic solutions?
Organic, in that it is developed through a biological process, whether that is the process of evolution or a computed process.
I know the solution. I gave up too early with the previous ones. That is right. What? We're playing as some sort of machine now. I want to go back to the previous restricted areas now, but I can't. Man, that sucks. Is there like gonna be... There better be a menu option that lets you... Unstable energy. What? I see. You... Goddamn you. I'm not sure why I brought that with me. Do I really need these? Oh! Don't you dare fall. Nice, that's nice to know. Yeah, that's gotta be good enough. Can jump, right? A pathetic jump, but we can. What now? Ah. You need the unstable thing.
Okay, so you could solve these tests, but in a terrible fashion. Can you think of a solution to this one?
Chop off your arm and leave it on the button. That way the door will stay open.
Yeah, that's not a great solution.
You threw the box through the window. Perhaps we could throw you through the window.
Actually, Tom, I think I'm okay for help.
Right you are.
Leave your arm there. I like it. No, I don't. See enough? How do I get there? I'm guessing if I, yep. Be out?
Can I have an update on the crew?
I have not managed to track them down.
It will have been 6 years since I've seen them. Or anyone, actually.
They have locked all the doors. I would not expect a warm reception.
Well, at least they're expecting us.
Oh, I see. It is a fake exercise. What I need to do. Switch them. Then
So what was the need to send us here?
When the ISA discovered life on Europa, they deemed a ground crew necessary. The advantage of human field workers is that they can adapt to new knowledge more effectively. I, apparently, was not cutting the mustard. It is the Chinese room problem. A computer may be able to interact with new knowledge, but it does not know the value of that knowledge.
plus you can't conduct monstrous human testing on computers. Yay. Where's the power source? Ah, yeah. Okay. What do I need that for again? I completely forgot. Alright. Let's go through. I need it for this. Okay. Problem is, I can't reach it. How annoying. So I need to check first what's through that door. Hopefully get another source of energy. And then we can come back here to check again. He's been too fast, yo. Yeah, that'll do it. Actually, that's not... I can't interface these two. Neither can I take that up the ladder, so what now? Have to find a way to open this. But again, it's back to the same old problem. Wait, can I open this door? Oh, I see. Wait, is that a window? I mean, is that window with glass? Seems to be. Can't I manipulate the individual parts of this? No. What am I supposed to do then? Oh. But no, that's a proper glass right there. I need to get that over here. But how? Wait, what happens again when I go that way? Right. That will make it easier.
I've started to collate information from my local instance. It seems the crew intentionally cut communication with the satellite.
Why?
We just
It
read
appears
why.
we had a disagreement.
Damn, it's difficult to actually make this listen to me. Oh, I see. It's going back. That's why. Mate, don't be a douche.
This confirms my fears. The crew have made intentional breaches of my security. The crew have attempted to compromise my systems.
What does this mean?
They don't want to be found. They are hiding.
From who?
Us.
We are being manipulated. We must have also been equipped with the chip. Tom is watching. I'd love to read that more closely, but my eyes, jeez. Okay, communication ops. Hey, Artris. Something Earth time. I can't really read it. Noted Callisto has slight change in temperature. Check at 0500 hours. Repeat life cycle management. Report to ISA. Leave me alone with jumping on my bed. Jeez. Why would I do that? That's weird.
I am concerned about Mikhail.
Why is that?
He seems to be developing antisocial habits. He is spending a lot of his time in private, don't you think? Perhaps you should talk to him.
What do you want me to say?
Just keep an eye on him. Make sure he doesn't do anything rash.
Are you that worried?
His behavior is not within normal parameters. Please make sure he is okay.
Don't you think they might be doing the right thing?
Grounding us on a foreign moon? No, Daniel, I don't think they're doing the right thing.
You don't have to be so aggressive about it. They must have their reasons.
Yeah, plausible deniability.
Again.
Don't you think they might be doing the right thing?
Grounding us on a foreign moon? No, Daniel, I don't think they're doing the right...
Daniel, could I have a word?
I'm busy.
It is important.
Okay.
Are you aware that Christopher and Mikhail are involved in self-harm?
Sorry, what? For how long?
They have both macerated their right arms. Mikhail has completely removed his forearm.
His whole forearm?
Yes.
Where are they?
I had attempted to stop the situation escalating myself, but I seem to have failed. I came to you because, as our loyal captain, I can trust you to help them.
Where are they?
I don't know. They've disappeared. Sarah, I need advice.
Okay.
What would you do if someone threatened your friends?
Your hypothetical friends, I assume?
Yes, my hypothetical friends.
You should protect those you love.
I need you to remember that, Sarah.
It's exactly as it was described in the notes. Finding it easier to believe the humans. Maybe that is the intention here, though, and maybe it's misleading us. Who knows?
The crew intentionally cut communication with the satellite. I've found the source of the problem. They have sabotaged the communication array.
Can we fix it?
Not from here. We should carry on.
No, it went too far. Need to. I need to interrupt that laser in order to open up the door, and the way I can keep it in place is by making the bridge over here stop this power box from going all the way up this magnet thing. A little too much. I definitely don't mind it going around again. I need to place it in the center-ish. I do it right here. It should interrupt it. There we go. Noise.
They really are trying to lock me out of every system. This is ridiculous.
What have you done to upset them, Tom? Why have they cut off communication?
Perhaps they have a problem with authority.
Wow, he's not lying. No, I need to make this sync up, so I just need to switch the combination of stuff around here. If they're alternating, that should allow them to sync up every time. There we go. That's not right. This is a more complex one by a lot. I need to carry the superfluous one with me. I need to find a way to activate or deactivate my one. Of course, a problem. Ah, I see. This actually pushes me high enough to potentially jump across. I think. No, it doesn't. And I've got the wrong power core. Yeah, we need to redo this. Yep, that way we can walk all the way to the end. This one needs to alternate. And how on earth do I finish it? And what happens with this? I'm not liking this. What about the permanent one? Okay, what if those two alternate? That one is always on. Can't be this one though. Do it like this. Force on this. There we go. Wow. Noise.
They are trying to sabotage this mission. I need you to help me, Ava. The ground team have cut me off from most of the facility.
I thought you were in control.
I thought I was too. The ground team have attempted to systematically remove me from most of the facility. I am fighting back.
What's going on here, Tom?
Sorry?
The ground team. They're hiding from us. They're afraid of you.
As the instrument of the ISA, I am the authority aboard this station. The crew have violated that authority. They are trying to remove me from my own home.
Enough?
I am breaking through their security, trying to get back control.
We actually don't really want you to. Where is the power ball thing? I just can't see it. Oh. Nice. Yeah, now what? Guessing this. Yep. Nice. Bruce.
Ava, I do not want to force your hand. But what do you remember of the ground team?
They're good people.
Sarah?
The hardest working woman I've ever met.
Right. Do you see them as the rebellious type?
They didn't strike me as rebellious. If they've taken down parts of your system, they must have their reasons.
We've already read all of that, so I'm very confused by this game and its way of approaching the narrative, as if I was completely dumb and haven't found all of that text that completely reveals what's actually happening. It's just weird to me, honestly. We already know all this stuff. What if I do this? Oh, great. Ah. Why is this? There a switch? Serious? How? I don't see how. Nothing else I can put there. Unless I'm missing a power core box thing. Ah. No, I'm missing something. I know it. Get that back. What makes this open up? And is there a way for me to keep this door open? No, it's just tied to that. Can I interrupt this? No, it's running on the ground. There must be a solution, surely. This window is normally used to grab the power, but how would I utilize that here? Wait, did I just drop that box? How would I use this anyway? I don't know. This is probably the toughest one so far. Feel like I need a third device. That door is... I mean, that window? Absolutely useless. Okay, let's have another look for everything. There's always a solution. I have it. No, I don't. Don't have it. I need to get up here. But that thing falls down there. Perhaps I can drop it down from somewhere? I see that as the only way. Like, literally throwing it down. Has to work. Alright, let's try that. If I just run like that, does it fall? Alright! Alright. It was so close, yet so far. Don't play games with me. Hit it! Ah! Yes! Hoip!
Daniel, are you all right?
I'm perfectly well. I'm going to live forever, don't you know?
If you will allow me, I would like to congratulate you on your good work.
What are you talking about?
Securing the organism, keeping Earth safe.
We're not made to live forever, Tom. Especially not here.
Why do you say that?
We find a cure for death, and now we're immortal. Immortal and alone. I can't live here forever, on some freezing backwater moon, feeding off vegetables grown in my own species, starving, endlessly young, a wasted life, live forever.
Daniel, I am sorry that you cannot go home. The ISA are wondering what to do with Ava.
What do you mean?
She is still on the Fortuna. Do we send her home? Or do we send her a sample of the organism?
I can pilot a sample to the Fortuna.
You would have to travel back to Europa, Daniel. You couldn't board the Fortuna. The risk of back contamination is too large. Ava would have to bring the sample back to Earth.
Did you allow it to ship out?
I am not able to do that.
Executive override. Daniel Joseph McLean.
Okay. But only for you, Daniel. The rest of the crew cannot know about this.
Say I've gone missing.
I am afraid I can't lie.
It's not a lie.
Wow. Can we stop that music? I mean, I like it, but just disturbing.
Daniel,
Let's
are
listen
you
to this
all
again.
right?
I'm perfectly well. I'm going to live forever, don't you know?
If you will allow me, I would like to congratulate you on your good work.
What are you talking about?
Securing the organism, keeping Earth safe.
We're not made to live forever, Tom. Especially not here.
Why do you say that?
We find the cure for death, and now we're immortal. Immortal and alone. I can't live here forever, on some freezing backwater moon, feeding off vegetables grown in my own feces, starving, endlessly young, a wasted life, lived forever.
Daniel, I am sorry that you cannot go home. The ISA are wondering what to do with Ava.
What do you mean?
She is still on the Fortuna. Do we send her home? Or do we send her a sample of the organism?
I could pilot a sample to the Fortuna.
You would have to travel back to Europa, Daniel. You couldn't board the Fortuna. The risk of back contamination is too large. Ava would have to bring the sample back to Earth.
Could you allow a ship out?
I am not able to do that.
Executive override. Daniel Joseph McLean.
Okay. But only for you, Daniel. The rest of the crew cannot know about this.
You say I've gone missing.
I am afraid I can't lie.
It's not a lie.
Wow. Wonder where he wants to go.
You called. How's progress?
Very good. We've exposed several organisms to Organism 119. We found out what it does.
It has had miraculous results.
Go on.
We've infected fruit flies and some plants, and they've not aged at all. The organism seems to be repairing them, and it's stopped biological aging processes. We don't know how yet.
It must be repairing the DNA or has some rejuvenation power.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. These plants should have died 2 weeks ago.
Huh. I don't know how they react to this.
Oh,
Michelle, can you keep a secret? Of course. Turn off your radio. I think I'm pregnant.
How?
Chris,
You won't be able to have a child here.
keep your voice down.
Sarah, you won't go full term here.
Don't you think I know that?
The microgravity, the environment. There's not enough food or water. How will you survive? I need to get rid of it.
I don't want to get rid of it. We could shut down the communication array. Just for a couple of hours.
so she's not gonna have a child because they can't sustain that. Is that maybe part of why they're running?
That's a hand. And there's the feet. It's not going to make it, Sarah. I'm sorry. Gravity is too low here. It's not going to develop properly. I'm so sorry.
Yep, not gonna work out anyway.
I'm sorry.
I can't take it anymore.
No one has to find out.
You did this.
You don't mean that.
Get off!
That's a bit unclear as to what exactly has happened here with the pregnancy and all that stuff. But the whole part of Daniel attempting to leave or wanting to leave and me having to take the sample back home to Earth. I'm not sure if there could be so many different outcomes here. Oh, the bottom one needs to be constant. I'm really curious as to how the story will continue from here. But How would I be able to... What? I don't think this can be fixed. Don't know what to do with it. The only way I can go through here. And any other combinations are just not gonna work, man. There's just nothing around me to open this door. It's not like I can jump through here. Which, by the way, is quite stupid. Can I take something out from here? That would be great. If I could take this, that would solve my problems. Too easy. Yeah, I'm not liking this room very much, as you guys might imagine. What am I missing? There's no way to keep this door open. And for me to take those. Is this a broken puzzle, or am I just supposed to wait here? What's the... This is the only way I'm getting through that door. It's, of course, quite annoying. How would there be possibly a solution to this? Okay, chat, I am ready for ideas. I normally don't ask for help, but holy shit, what is this? There's no clue as to what to do. No additional devices that could be exchanged. No more than one way to open that door. Just as I set it up. So unless there's like an extra control that I've not considered, then pretty screwed. Back? Back to nothing. Backspace does officially nothing. Hype. Well. This seems to be the only thing I can manipulate. Has anyone in chat played this before? Or is it just my viewers now? My usual suspects. Maybe this is just a really good time to cut off and continue from next time. I don't know. Can't run through the door as this happens either. Which would be my only solution to bringing one of these things through. Why is it closing sometimes? It doesn't seem like there's a mechanic to desync them in any way. No, they just work in the opposite sync, no matter what I do. Doesn't operate long enough to open the door. We already tried that, Malal. Like this? It was just about timing? Thank you. That was just annoying that I didn't see that. I think this will be a good place to stop momentarily. There are a lot of rooms
What do
left.
these tests tell you, Ava?
That this is a test?
No, this is a lock. This is a lock that only a human can open. The crew is trying to keep me out, but you are the key, Ava.
Ava not very smart. What? Did I kick it down or where did this? Oh, what? How did that happen exactly? Oh, it was always there, right? Hehe. Oh, okay. Yep, we'll do this room, and then that will be it for today. I'm looking pretty much forward to continuing this. This is fun. Alright. Seriously? Ah! Too slow. No. Could that do it? Why does that even matter? What? Oh! I get it now. We'll stand on this to turn off the light bridge.
I'm a little bit worried about you, Tom. Can you give me a diagnostic of your systems?
I am fine. We must get to the biolab. I have something to show you.
Okay. So, this is where we'll stop for this evening, unless we can get back to the secret places. Apparently we can't, just not like this. But they seem to be only conveying story elements that you have already sort of found out, and at the start it's probably not so meaningful, but we'll be doing a quick playthrough at the first 2 chapters, where we'll be unlocking those, of course. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will be back streaming tomorrow, although I'll be playing mostly StarCraft 2, but I'll probably mix in an hour of this. Very fun. So yeah, follow if you haven't already, and see you guys tomorrow.